Yes, I know it's been a while. I'm gonna make like a news update video soon, but I did want to just throw something out there for you guys to watch, and that is gonna be Power Ranger crossovers. But not the crossovers you're thinking of. I'm thinking of crossovers with other brands or other companies. Right? Like you get your occasional Power Ranger team up, right? You know, you got your Forever Reds, you got your Mighty Morphins. Wait, did Mighty Morphin even cross over anyone? I don't even know. They crossed over someone in this video, but like you got your I'm blanking. Like you got your Forever Red, you got your Dino Thunder and SPD, you got your Ninja Storm and Dino Thunder, etc. Things of that sort of nature. But in this video, excuse me, we are going to be doing Power Ranger crossovers with other tokusatsu stuff or other pop culture things or like pop culture brand companies, etc. I broke it down into a list of TV stuff, and then I broke it down into another list of comics. So to start off, we have the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers teaming up with the Masked Rider. Masked Rider being the adaptation of Kamen Rider. Spoilers ahead for some of these. I don't know the plots of some of these, but some of them I do know very well. But in Power Rangers Mighty Morphin, I believe it's season 2, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers end up going to Alpha's home planet, which is Edenoid, I believe, and they end up meeting the Masked Rider. This would also be considered the pilot episode for Masked Rider as well, since Saban wanted more Japanese stuff and wanted to expand the tokusatsu stuff. He decided to bring in Kamen Rider, specifically, I think it's Kamen Rider Black ZX, something like that. But he adapted that into Masked Rider. The plot is that the Rangers are sent to the planet Edenoid to figure out why there's so much pollution happening, where they end up fighting the Masked Rider first, but eventually ending up teaming up with the Masked Rider. This would later lead Masked Rider to have his own show. That is the first tokusatsu, or basically an other company brand, that teamed up with Power Rangers. I'm not going to count stuff like McDonald's or like clothes, except I'm not doing that. I'm talking Pacific Power Rangers crossovers with other superheroes, pretty much outside of Power Rangers, essentially. So the next crossover is Power Rangers in Space teaming up with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Astronema somehow manages to get the Ninja Turtles from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Next Mutations, I believe that's the title, manages to transport them to the in-space dimension, brainwash them, have them almost destroy the Astro ship, but eventually the Turtles are able to be free of their mind control and team up with the in-space Rangers at the end of the episode. This would also be sort of fan service, as the Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers have always been in constant battle just because of how famous they were around in the 90s. So that is pretty much that. That is their crossover, essentially. Next one's kind of a long shot. The next one would be Ninja Steel and Space Sheriff, not Gavan. I don't actually know what this one is called, but he's basically a space ninja cop dude. I believe he's a space ninja cop dude, and essentially he's just like, he thinks the Rangers are bad because I believe he goes onto like the Galaxy show that Ninja Steel has, and when he goes onto the show, he's following a criminal that he is tracking, and when he tracks the criminal, he ends up getting convinced by the main baddie of Ninja Steel to go to Earth and take down the Rangers. But eventually, he is able to understand, he is able to realize, oh, the Rangers aren't the bad guys, this person's the bad guy, and they are able to team up. I don't actually know what he's based off. I actually don't know. I know that's bad, though. I know it's not Gavan. It's something else, though. His name is Sheriff Skyfire, or the name they gave him in Ninja Steel. But I don't know where he's actually from. I don't know if he's part of the Gavan, think, somebody please tell me in the comments. I'm talking about old Gavon, not new Gavon that came out. I'll do a whole video on new Gavon. But right now, that's, I guess, that you can say. I can assume that. Yeah, basically, Space Sheriff Skyfire is from another tokusatsu thing. I just don't know what it is. Like, I just don't. Someone can tell me in the comments, please. I would really appreciate it. The next one we have is the actual Space Hero Gavan and the Beast Morphers team. I believe the plot in this one is that Space Hero Gavan, I don't know what his name is. I think they gave him some like BS name. I don't even know, but all I know is that he ends up going to Earth. He ends up going to Earth to find a criminal. His name is Captain Chaku. That's his name, and he's basically like he's the adaptation of Space Sheriff Gavan. I believe he is an actual android or maybe a human half android type of deal. I believe he got injured badly and he was just, it's the same thing as Ninja Steel. He was chasing a criminal. He believes the Rangers are his enemies, I believe, but he ends up working with the Rangers at the end of it. And they actually end up having him reunite with his daughter or some type of relative. This one's kind of on the nose, I'm going to be honest. So they don't really cross over unless you can count it as a crossover, but it's a little tidbit. In Forever Red, they reused the Beetleborg outfits. So you can count that if you want, but I don't really want to count it. And the VR Trooper suits, they are also from another tokusatsu called Metal Heroes. So you can count that as well. But mind you, Big Bad Beetleborgs and VR Troopers came out around the hype of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So that was what Saban was probbing along with Masked Rider. So that figures that, essentially. So we got the TV stuff out the way, I believe. If I missed any of them, tell me. Now we're heading into the comics. So the first one I got is actually Power Rangers teaming up with the Justice League. Zack ended up transported to the Justice League dimension where he ends up fighting Batman, but the other Rangers come in, then the Justice League comes in, and we find out that Lord Zed and Brainiac end up teaming together, so the Justice League and the Power Rangers have to team up to stop Brainiac and Lord Zed. That's as basic as they come. It was a very short series, though. It wasn't expanded upon further. Not like in this one, where it's the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers teaming up with Godzilla. Kind of teaming up with Godzilla, yeah. This one's actually continuous, I believe. I don't know if it ended at all, but I know they're coming out with different volumes of it. And the first one, the Rangers actually end up fighting Godzilla. And then, in the second issue, the Rangers actually end up getting kaiju suits. So yeah, we got Mighty Morphin Kaiju Rangers up in here in the Power Rangers Godzilla comic book crossover, which is kind of cool. The next one I have is Street Fighter teaming up with the Power Rangers. This is pretty much well known, but in the Power Rangers Legacy Wars mobile game, the Power Ranger brand ended up teaming with the Street Fighter brand, and they created characters for it. Ken from Street Fighter became a Ranger. Ryu from Street Fighter became a Ranger. Chun-Li became a Ranger. And Cammy, I believe, became a Ranger. And that is a crossover for video game, essentially. It's not a comic, I believe. I don't think it is. But that is another Power Ranger crossing over with another superhero brand. The fourth one I have is Usagi teaming up with the Power Rangers. I know Usagi more from Ninja Turtles, I'm going to be honest. But I don't really know the story of Usagi and the Power Rangers. If somebody can explain it, please. I tried to look it up. It doesn't make sense to me. I'm sorry. From what I understand, I think that the Usagi Rangers are a completely different set of Rangers. Like, I think the Usagi Rangers are specific to the Usagi dimension. I have no idea. But yeah, if you guys gotta check that one out. I'm trying my best not to give away spoilers here. So the third one, essentially, the last two, one of the other ones I had put on is VR Troopers and Power Rangers Prime. It's a comic book series that's going on right now. But basically, VR Troopers are the bad guys and the Power Rangers are the good guys, essentially. And then you have the Turtles, Power Rangers Turbo, teaming up with the Big Bad Beetleborgs in the 1989 comic as well. And the last one I left is the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers teaming up with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Something that was match made in heaven. basically Tommy has to infiltrate. I made a whole video on it. Like I made a video on it already. But I can just synopsis or like wrap it up really quickly. Basically, Tommy has to infiltrate this foot to get his family, his relative, out of the foot. The Rangers find out. They end up teaming with the Turtles after fighting each other. Then the turtle, and then they end up winning the day, obviously. But then people loved it, so they had to make another issue. I talked about it in another video, which I'll link down below if I remember. But essentially, the Rangers and Turtles beef. They work together, and then in another issue, the Turtles ended up becoming Rangers because the Rangers lose their power coins, and I think somehow Donnie was able to regenerate them and created morphers for the Turtles to use. So you literally have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Rangers, and then Metalhead becomes their fucking Megazord. So that's pretty much that.